this is a very important suttas, because this is the sutta where the method, let's say, is given, one of the method, and he describes the different contemplation of the body, and in which there is a contemplation of breath, contemplation of feeling, contemplation of mind, and contemplation of mind objects. And each time, for each contemplation, he gives the kind of insight that you can get from this contemplation. So what we've just done is actually anapanasati in Pali language, the language of the Buddha. It's translated as mindfulness of breathing. It's part of contemplation of the body. Yes. So, he said that in the sutta that the meditator understand breath as long or short, as in or out, and he experienced the whole body of the breath. So he doesn't really give more information or detail, so I give you more than what is written actually during that guided meditation. So there is no much details, so you have to actually figure out for yourself through your practice. Yes, and there is a way also in this mindfulness of breathing, is that they say that you use the breath to tranquilize the bodily formations. So that would correspond to the kind of meditations we've done on the previous gathering. Yes. So there is in the sutta used the term body, so there we don't know if it's really body, the form, or the body of breath. And you just say that you abide contemplating the body as a body. So either internally or externally. So there is also kind of, nobody knows really what it means internally and externally. So I cannot elaborate on that. Some say that it's realizing the breath inside your body and looking at the breath inside others' body. But it looks a bit strange to focus on someone else breathing. And he said that in that kind of mindfulness of breathing, you abide contemplating the nature of arising and the nature of vanishing of the breath, and both the nature of arising and vanishing. So this is more like contemplating the in-breath, the out-breath. Yes. And the arising, so the moment when the breath arises, so after this gap, and then it starts again, and then it vanishes. Into what? So those are interesting moments to observe. So do not go too much intellectually about that, okay? Just a very slight observation, continuous, but do not make it an intellectual work, like, oh, when does it start actually? Or do not ask so many questions, just observation of this moment. Or he says that you can also simplify completely the practice and say that simple mindfulness of there is body. So if you can do that also, if your mind is already very calm, you can just sit Say just there is body, and just watch that. So in contemplation of the body, there is also, as I mentioned at the beginning of all meditations, that there are 4 postures, all right? So walking, standing, sitting, and lying down. And he says in that sutta, the meditator, bhikkhu, monk, nun, lay people just understands, I am walking while walking. I am standing while standing. I am sitting while sitting. I am lying down. Yes, or however this body is disposed. So whatever your posture, you are just mindful of it, meaning that you keep remembering to be aware of your posture. So each time, actually, this is, I made also this video on, and that I entitled Embodied Awareness, when I explained that any move you make to grab something, you stay with it. You keep your attention in when you move the body, when you sit up, when you stand, when you walk. You can say even a small mental note. Walking is happening, walking, walking. Lying, when you lie down, lying down, lying down, lying down. When you sit, sitting, sitting, sitting. Or when you stand, standing, standing. You are at the queue at the supermarket. Say, you bring mindfulness to the 4th, staying in the body, knowing that you are queuing, that you are standing and waiting. Just mental note, standing, standing, standing. And you can stay in your body. There is this also kind of contemplation when you stay in the body, and you just observe how the body change posture. When you extend a limb, when you extend a leg, when your fingers grab something, you just stay with that. It would bring also concentration, really. So he said again, internally, externally, or both, you can do that. So you can observe yourself, or I suppose observe also others, the body of others. Yes. So it goes further, it elaborates further about contemplation of the body, and say that to bring full awareness when going forward and returning, when looking ahead and away. So each time you look at something, be aware of it. Oh, what I said, so when flexing and extending the limbs, when eating, drinking, consuming food, tasting, when defecating and urinating, so when you are in the toilets, you are aware of what's going on. So there is this I've seen people doing that, just bringing their phones to the toilet. Well, you leave your phone out of the toilet, and you are aware that you are defecating and urinating. Okay, so this is also, it might sound kind of disgusting, but or I don't know, maybe you not want to do it, but somehow it gives you the reality of what this body is about. Alright. Yes, really, you start to really look at the body, and what it is that you put things inside, and things of fluids goes outside. So it goes in, it goes out. So they are a kind of exchange. we have the tendency to beautify the body, to make it, I don't know, to put some makeup on, some nice clothes, some jewels, and then, yeah. But if we look at the reality of it, then maybe we might get disenchanted with it, and also get disenchanted with the body of others. Yes. And you bring full awareness, so when walking, sitting, standing, and lying down. So once again, in the 4 postures, you bring full awareness while falling asleep and waking up. So when you fall asleep, again, try to stay mindful until you go to unconsciousness, I would say, to the sleep state. So it's interesting how to see if you're very aware how your the process that the mind goes through before falling asleep, and also before waking up. Just before there is the thought, what I am going to do today, what time is it, which day we are in, what day it's today, what do I have to do. Before that very first thought, what's there? So bring full awareness to that. And so while talking, while keeping silent. And again, this advice to look at that, observe that, internally, externally, or both. So this is, make your own interpretation about those words. I don't know. You can observe others also moving around. Yes. And in the contemplation of the body, so still in that sutta, there is this practice that was practiced by the bhikkhus, the monks at the time, that it's still practiced in the Theravada tradition, and this is the contemplation of the fullness of the body. That means that let's say the disgusting part of the body. So usually it's not taught in the lay community, or not everything. You will understand why. So among these kind of contemplations, there is the contemplation of the 32 parts of the body. So maybe once I will give also guided meditation on that, where you look at the different parts, how the body, what is made of, actually. So it is said that the meditator reviews this same body up from the soles of the feet and down from the top of the hair, bounded by skin, as full of many kinds of impurity. So this is a very specific kind of practice. It's good to do it with guided with a teacher, with some guidance, because we talk about the body in terms of impurity and disgusting parts. So sometimes it might bring some kind of strong feelings against one's body. It's not the goal, of course, of the practice, but typically you look through mindfulness and through attentiveness, awareness, into all parts of the body, such as flesh, sinews, tendons, bones, diaphragms, veins, lungs, skin, teeth, and so on. And also the body fluids, such as the bile, the blood, the sweat, urine, and so on. So there is a kind of extensive practice about these 32 parts of the body. So you can recite them, for example, like a kind of mantra, and use that as a concentration practice, and then go into your body and with perception or your inner eye you can also go through the different part of the body. It helps to once again look at the body for what it is, meaning organicness. Or you can also look at the body in terms of the 5 elements. So I did a guided meditation already on earth elements and on the 4 elements, meaning earth, water, fire and wind. And once again, yes, there is also this contemplation you might not like, and this is also something that is usually only for monks in monasteries, and again with senior monks or acrid, how to say that, experienced meditator. It's about charnel ground contemplation. So you look at the bodies. So it's part of the sutta, it's part of the practice. I won't talk about that, but it's you look, you bring awareness to dead bodies, because this is what our bodies will look like when we will be dead. So there, I understand completely this kind of contemplations, but this kind of communication might not be the best support, the best way to introduce this kind of practice. Because by doing so, then you understand when the body arises, when the body vanishes, not what it means, because you're not trying to put any meaning around that, but what nature really is. Because it also helps to realize the impermanent nature of the body, for one and for good. You know where you're going to, where this body is going to end. Yes. So this is the first part of the Satipatthana Sutta, the 4 foundation of mindfulness, and that was the first part, so contemplation of the body. And I think if you are interested, I will also talk about the 3 other parts in another Dharma gathering. But the first part, contemplation of the body, is about mindfulness of breathing, the 4 postures, full awareness, the 32 parts of the body, the 5 elements, and the 9 charnel ground contemplations. This is actually the methods, the methods used for awakening, the kind of practice that you can do. And he says at the end of the suttas that you can actually reach the states of non-returner, of arahantship. So you might know that in the Theravada traditions there are 4 different stages of enlightenment, and the very last one, full liberation, is arahantship, and the one before is non-returning. So, and starting with stream enterer. And this kind of stage of alignments determines how many lifetimes you will need to go to full enlightenment. But this is just a model. Depend for other traditions, it's different kind of stages. So, for example, the Tibetan Buddhism has bhumis. So, and it's difficult to find any. It's difficult to find something, some overlaps between the 4 stages of enlightenment in the Theravada traditions and the Tibetan Buddhism, the bhumis of Tibetan Buddhism. But I would say that it's important not to attach too much, let's say, belief or importance on those stages of enlightenment, and just experience do the work and experience it for yourself. Yes. So it gives you an idea of what kind of practice can be done, what kind of work you can implement into your daily life in order to get insight. Yes, if you really want to walk the path of awakening, if you want just well-being, then this guided meditation on the breath, of course, can bring contentment, joy, and pleasure, rapture, bliss. And you can stay to that as well if you like. Yes. But if you want to reduce suffering drastically, then wisdom has to be developed, and this kind of practice will bring insight in the nature of suffering. Yes. And will help to purify the mind, heart. You can find the Satipatthana sutta in the translation by Bhikkhu Bodhi of the Majjhima Nikaya. It's the sutta number 10. You can also find it for free through the translation of Thanissaro Bhikkhu. Or there might be also some free translation in English through the website Access to Insight. That was the reflection of the day. And if you have any comment about today's practice, or about the methods expounded in these 4 foundations of mindfulness sutta, please feel free. So we can think that, of course, this is how the monks trained more than 2000 years ago, and that it's not for us, or but applying those methods, just apply those methods for yourself and see for yourself if they work. Yeah, what do they bring when you practice them? And this is something that is so different than what we are used to do. We are used to entertain ourselves through external means, and here it's just talking about being present and aware when we move into space, when the body moves into space. Just walking, being mindful when you walk, just walking. It's actually very simple, but you will realize if you try to do it through the entire day that it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Yes, and we always also look for pleasure. So when there is this contemplation of bodily parts inside the body, then we might think that it's disgusting, or we do not want to look at that. We would rather do something else, something nice, look at beautiful things. Yes, beautiful sights, the sense pleasures. But the desires for sense pleasures are actually hindrances for contemplation and meditations. And you've done that since a long time, and maybe this is not what's going to bring you out of suffering. But this kind of practice, yes, because you will see through the nature of how the identity makes itself, how suffering arises, and what is the real nature of the body. And you can use the body also as a kind of temple, so being able to go back into the body with its simplicity of walking. For example, if you are overstressed, or if you feel yourself in a difficult situation and you do not know what to do, how to handle that, and you need to pause, you need to look at how you will react, then it's possible to go back into the density and of the body, into the soles of the feet, into just walking, into just breathing. Where is my breath right now? How does it feel? And it brings you away from distractions and worries. And it's always available to you. You can use it like the body like that, yes. So if you have any questions, you can write to me after you've done the practice, for example, several times, or if you have technical issues. But that's interesting, because it's not an esoteric practice. It's actually very well expounded. There are not many details, but it's okay, look at that, look at that, look at that aspect, look at that aspect. You can expect this kind of insight. So it's kind of quite well-defined method, I would say. And the Buddha taught that for 45 years to any kind of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis who are interested in awakening, enlightenment. So I'm stopping there. Feel free to ask any questions, or if you want to leave, that's fine too. I'll stay there a few minutes.
Thank you for today's Dharma talk.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
Bye.